But back with my disability is it's progressive. So because it's progressive, and the reason why I have, and I will talk briefly about it here, about this clock and the sense of urgency, is my disability is progressive. So in the span of, to give you an idea really quick, is at the age of 5, I was able to utilize both of my hands, pushing myself in a manual wheelchair. Fast forward to 10 years later, which is a whole decade, at the age of 15, I no longer have the mobility and the strength to push myself in a manual wheelchair, where I then had to be in a powerized wheelchair. Fast forward to another decade later, which is another 10 years, which is me present time, at the age of 25, I still am in a powerized wheelchair. However, back to what I was saying, my disability is progressive. My SMA is progressive. I didn't struggle with neck support before. I'm starting to struggle with it now. I didn't struggle with chewing, swallowing, eating. I am beginning to struggle with it now. I do have my good days, I do have my bad days, and there are some days that are just not the greatest. And that comes with the daily challenges and the uncertainties of living with SMA. And because I have not only these experiences, but because I am able to think about and see where I was to where I currently am, I can only imagine what's going to happen within the next decade. Am I going to, I'm on this trend of declining when it comes to when it comes to a decade, when it comes to 10 years. I'm not progressing. And until there is a cure, until there is a much more advancement for treatments with SMA, then that's going to be a whole different conversation, a whole different topic, and then I'll be able to think a little bit more optimistically. But at this current state and this current rate that I am currently on, this current track record, you could say, is I can only imagine where I'll be within the next 10 years. And because I have that in mind, I have this sense of urgency that I have to do what I can with where I am with as much as I can. I have to take advantage of this opportunity while I can, because if I don't, then I can only imagine, just having that thought of I won't go too in depth because I don't want to get emotional here, but having that thought of like being a vegetable and having that thought of like, what if? Or Vic, why didn't you push yourself harder? Or why did you slow down when you knew you could have kept going? Or I want to eliminate that thought of what if. So the reason why I do what I do is because I feel like I'm on this clock. There's a sense of urgency. I have to make sure that if I can create this plan of mine, by getting my name out there, I can build this business, this personal brand, build other businesses and companies behind it as well. And I'm able to write a book and sell copies, and make money where I'm comfortable. Then I know if I were to happen to turn into a vegetable meaning I'm not able to feed myself, not able to brush my teeth, I might not even be able to pick up my phone or let alone deal with a computer. And those are some very scary thoughts. It's not the easiest to have lurking in your thoughts, to be occurring in your thoughts. It's not the easiest thing to really deal with. And it's not so much you're thinking about them, it's because you know it's to come. Again, if there's no advancements or treatments or cure within the next decade or within my lifetime, to say. And if I am able to do these things, I know that if such event were to take place or such experience were to take place, I know my needs are taken care of. I know I will have the money, the financial resources to get the caregivers that are going to be needed, maybe even the nurse needed, certain medications needed, because if you really pay attention now, some people need certain medications or treatments or surgeries or whatever, and their insurance doesn't cover it. And they either can't afford it, so they're stuck with being left without it, or they're drowning in financial debt. And then that financial debt carries on to their family. I don't want to leave that burden to those around me. So I want to be able to put myself in a position where if certain things were needed that I needed, I know I have the financial resources to do so. Vic, you need a nurse now. It's that time. Okay, let's do it. Vic, you need uh, maybe a respiratory therapist that needs to be with you 24/7 now. Okay, let's do it. I don't want to have that thought of how much is it going to be. Will my insurance cover it? If my insurance covers it, great. If my insurance doesn't, I want to be in that position to be like, okay, who do we have to contact, or where can we start having people send in their applications, and I want to have that sense of control as to paying you more than what is expected. I want to be able to take care of you. If you are loyal to me, you take care of me, and I see it, and I don't see no malicious intentions or some unhealthy motives behind your actions. Like, you feel genuine, you are loyal to me, you're great. Best believe you take care of me, I am going to take care of you too. I want to have that sense of control, and it comes even bigger than that. My mother's getting older. Who's going to take care of her? Is she going to be in a nursing home? Is my siblings going to take care of her? Because me being in my state, I can't. So thoughts like that appear as well, along with like thinking about my tias and thinking about certain people as well. And I want to be able to have the financial opportunity, availability to eliminate that stress and worry, not just for myself, but for those around me as well. Don't worry about it. It's taken care of. You know, Again, touching on talking about my mom, for example. They say she needs medical treatment and her insurance doesn't cover it. Don't worry about it, mom. I got it. Tyler Perry said it in his documentary. It was called Maxine's Baby, and he talked about his mom. And I'll never forget what he said. He says his mom ended up going blind. She fell ill, and she was at Tyler Perry's grand opening. I believe it was for when he opened up Tyler Perry Studios, and it was this big grand event that Tyler Perry was opening, and a lot of celebrities and people came. It was a red carpet event, and he said his mom. He was with his mom, and his mom looked to him and said, "Son, everything is beautiful." And he said, "How do you know that? Like, you can't see." And she said, "Because I can feel it." But he said that his mom told him, I can't remember if it was either that event or within the past or what. But she had told him, "Thank you, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to afford my medication." So when you think about like a grand scale like that, you have to prepare for the future. You have to expect the unexpected, and literally, if you have the opportunity to make certain things happen, make it happen. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Like me, yes, I have a progressive disability. It's not the greatest. Obviously, there's a lot more to my story that I haven't shared, some of it I even won't ever share, and for a variety of reasons. Um, so having that in mind is that, yes, back to what I was saying, is if having a progressive disability is not the greatest, I could fall into poor me, I can't do anything, and feel sorry for myself, and it's going to get me nowhere, right? And I'm only going to stay in this depressive state that I'm already in. So the way I see it is, when there is no light, because there are going to be moments in your life where there isn't going to be light. And if you're one who doesn't experience rock bottom, and I mean rock bottom, I'm happy that you don't, and I hope you don't, because it's a very ugly place, it's a very scary place, and it is very, not many people make it out of those dark places. So if you are in a dark place, keep the faith, find something to help you find that light within. So no matter where it is you go, no matter how dark of valleys you walk through or you go through, you always have a spark of light. And if you can build your relationship with God, I can assure you, you will have an endless supply of this divine light that will never go out. But you have to build your relationship with a higher power. For me, it's God. For me, it's Jesus. You have to build your relationship with a higher power so that way you always have an endless supply of this divine light that never goes out. I don't trust where you are taking me. I don't know why you are putting me through this, but I trust where you are guiding me and trying to help me get through. May you please deliver me the strength to endure and persevere so I can see where you have predestined for me up ahead. Continue to put one foot in front of the other. That is all it takes. I wanted to mention that really quick. Forgive me, I got emotional. That's why I don't talk about certain things, because it's not an easy topic, an easy conversation to talk about. It really isn't.